Hey everybody, this is Tony.
And this is Paul. We're coming at you from the Friends for Life podcast, where we discuss the ongoing lives and issues of people with developmental disabilities to spark positive change in the field.
And we have a lot of fun doing it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Friends for Life podcast. Thanks for tuning back in. If you can, help us out, go down below, hit that subscribe button. Today our special guest is Stephen Lewis. He's the founder of the Delroy Chance Angel Wings Foundation, and he is here to talk about this awesome nonprofit that he started that is really helping out kids in need, also his career as a firefighter. So let's dive right into it.
What's up, everybody? Friends for Life Residential Care and the Friends for Life podcast likes to represent. Paul,
What are we representing?
I mean, I don't know the DD
We don't really
field now.
know what we're representing.
We're
at this
representing
point in time.
love.
No. We are representing all things DD Field in Northwest Ohio and beyond.
Okay.
That's what we represent. But today we have the one and only Mr. Stephen Lewis. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Morning.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Afternoon. I'm not sure what time of the day it is right now. Yeah. We're here, though. We're
Okay.
having a good time. So
Yes.
why don't you let us know a little bit about yourself, Stephen? Just a quick introduction to who you are, and we'll
Wow.
dive into the big topics. They got the spotlights on you, ready to go.
Okay, I can take the spotlight. I'm used to it. Yes, I'm a retired firefighter. Did 33 years on the Toledo Fire Division. I was a captain, safety officer, training officer, hazmat, so forth. And with that, I continued in the field because I'm retired now. And I've continued in the field, and I am a certified CPR First Aid instructor along with Narcan training. And I do a number of things. I have a nonprofit, which is called the Delroy Chance Angel Wings Foundation, which is huge in my life right now. We can talk about that a little later.
Yeah.
And well, I'll leave it. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that because I could take up all the time, all the things that I do.
Like this man is being so modest right now.
Yeah.
He's someone that I look up to when it comes to business and entrepreneurship. So he's a good guy.
That's awesome.
Try to be. I try to be. And that's something that I wake up every day with that effort of trying to be the best dad, trying to be the best friend, the best uncle, the best son that I can. And that's in my prayer every day that I continue to grow. And that's my purpose here, to be a shining light. Hopefully, sometime it get dim, sometime it get a little dim. But with that is that we have so many things going on in the world right now, and with that, if we don't try, we wind up being a part of the problem instead of a part of the solution. And that's what I'm trying to do, just try.
That's all you can do.
And that's what we talk about a lot. Like, I swear, there are so many times that we have we've beaten our heads trying to figure out solutions to things, and we beat our heads wondering why other people don't get that.
Right.
You know, do you find that being easier for you because of the field of work that you were? I mean, I'm sure you had to think quick on your toes as a fireman.
I always have to think quick on my toes, but with that is that a lot of people, like I said, they complain, and I tell all my friends and the people that are around me and the people that I meet that if we all try to do a small part, and hopefully one day that each one of us will build put a brick down, and hopefully we'll build a wall to at least slow this down, and to make some type of impact on the individuals that are looking at us, because it's always somebody watching us. It's always somebody watching us, whether we're doing good, whether we're doing bad. I was just talking to my grandson about that. He plays football over at Central. And I told him, he's only a sophomore, but he's playing varsity.
Nice.
Right. And I told him, I said, you got to realize that no matter what you're doing, whether you're on the field or off the field, somebody is watching you.
Yeah.
Somebody is watching you, and they're making a decision on how they're going to treat you or the opportunities that they're going to give you or they're not going to give you. And it's so important. Everybody has a chance to grow up, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we all want to do, but we all make mistakes as we growing up. But in the midst of it, we want to make as less as possible.
Yeah.
And I always tell my kids, right, because I had 4 kids. I got brought out of law school. I didn't get a chance to talk about our foundation yet. We lost our youngest son, but I always tell my kids, like, I just turned 60, right? And I feel like,
man, look at this. Look, if you're listening to us, go to our YouTube, man. This is the definition of looking good at 60, my guy.
well, thank you. I try hard, you know. But I tell the kids, it's like I'm not in your business. But I don't want you to be 60 to feel like you're getting it.
Yeah.
And if you can watch me or listen to what we talking about, you can cut some corners, you can get there a lot quicker.
Right.
And that's all. And always that I've always kept an older guy in my corner, you know, because we want to grow.
Yeah.
And we look up to different people. And like I said, we just trying to get there. That's all. Where is that? I don't know. I don't know. I do my little Bible reading in the morning, man. And
hope for the best.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just try to be the best.
Yeah, as a firefighter, I could imagine as like a public servant kind of gig, you
Yes.
know, you're in the spotlight a lot because, I mean, especially nowadays with, you know, police, firemen, all this stuff, you're constantly in the public eye. Does that, in a career like that, does the scrutiny ever get to you kind of because people are kind of judging, like no matter if you do right, wrong, or the other, you're always in the public spotlight, you know?
It was the career path that I chose. And a lot of people would always ask me how I made decisions so quick. And when you make decisions, you look at things and it's like, well, first of all, can I explain what I'm doing? Can I explain why I did something, or can I explain why I didn't do something? Meaning, can I explain to my boss? Can I explain to that family? Can I explain in a court of law?
Right.
And is this going to hurt me? Is this going to hurt me mentally? Is this going to hurt me financially? Is this going to hurt me physically?
Yeah.
And when you look at things like that, you can make decisions quick. And being in the public eye, because no matter if you put a camera in my face or whatever it might be, I know why I did something, and I know why I didn't do something. Now, whether it was right or wrong is, hey, let me learn.
That's still up for discussion.
Yeah. But I'm not just off the top of my head making decisions.
Gotcha.
So being in the public eye, it didn't really bother me. I grew up speaking. So being in the public, it don't bother me.
That's
you
good.
know.
And well, I'm always happy to hear that, because nothing is scarier than a public servant who is an introvert. Like
Right.
I don't know if that is like a thing that's supposed to go together, but maybe they should be like the investigators.
Right.
Or somebody.
And that's the thing that I was reading something recently, right? And they say if you're nervous, that means that you're scared. And when you're trying to grow, you should get used to talking to yourself.
Yes.
And when you feel like you get nervous, hey, are you scared? And I was telling him, say, Steve, are you scared? It's like, yeah, I mean, heck no, I'm apologizing.
No, man, we could hell.
Yeah, no, I ain't scared. You know, whether I'm golfing or whether I'm doing something different, or even with my wife, you know? I mean, hey, there's the deal. If any scary thing I have to talk to her about something, that's real serious.
I think we're all on that boat.
I know, maybe I better write it down first, right? and then
Read
go
this
talk
one
to
through. Oh, man. So one of the ways that we first met was through your CPR and First Aid classes. And God knows that I have been through tons of them. And you know, typically every 2 years you have to, research and
Absolutely.
stuff. But one thing that I could say that was best about your class, and you say it in your class, was that you want you want the people to take away something new.
Yes.
You know, every time. And you're so skilled as a teacher. I
Thank
know
you.
I always did.
Thank you.
And but throughout your time getting into this, into the training and stuff, was there a growing part? Or did you see like people weren't retaining information? Did you notice that people weren't coming to the class to learn, that they were just like, oh, hey, I'm just supposed to be here, compressions, whatever?
Yes. Everybody learns in a different way. Okay. And nobody really wants to take that class. But when you explain to people why they should, because like I tell them, what if it's you? What if this happens to you? Would you like somebody just tapping on the mannequin, moving it around, doing those type of things? I said, what if it's you? And I tell the people in my class also that you're here for your certification, but you're actually here for your family. That's how I need you to be thinking about, because that's who they're going to look to solve their problem when the issue shows up. They're going to be looking at you. They think you're a doctor or a nurse already anyways. And so with that, when you explain to people the importance of it. And like I tell them also is that through 33 years on the fire department, right? Mm-hmm. Each day we went to work, we had to retrain. And this is for that certification, meaning the CPR First Aid and Narcan training, that's only every 2 years. Mm-hmm. And I asked them, when have you ever even done it?
Yeah.
And everybody always talk about, well, I've done this before. I said, what if it's you? Would you like somebody to be playing around like this? No, we have a great time in my class. Mm-hmm. Have a great time. I truly enjoy it because I like to see when people leave out. I mean, first of all, when they come in, they don't want to be there. Mm-hmm. But when they leave out, it's like, dang, I really didn't want to be here, man. But I'm cool. You know, I think I can really do something. And a lot of times when you cut out the fat, meaning that I've done it a number of times. And when you explain why you're doing something, okay, this is what you're looking for. This is how this is going to feel. And you make it real. And it's like, okay, they sitting up now because they can see themselves in that situation. So it don't bother me. It don't bother. I like it when people show up and they don't want to be there. I mean, because I teach doctors, nurses, mm-hmm. I mean, whoever. Mm-hmm. I mean, small kids. I even had interpreters I had to have come in before also. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I mean, each one of us have our own talents. Mm-hmm. And when you finally realize what your talent is and you really go for it, because sometimes people have, like, if they're a singer, right? And they kind of hide it. You can see they shy about it. But when you see somebody that is really good at it and they know it, and they go for it. And I
work. Woo!
There you go. and I know I'm good at what I do, and that's not. I mean, it has to be a pat on the back because mm-hmm. I think that I change lives, and that's my purpose. You know, to help and to change lives. So, and that's what goes into our nonprofit that we have. Mm-hmm. It's called the Delroy Chance Angel Wings. If you can see that right there. I mean, and that came about. I know you didn't even ask me about this, but I'm gonna tell you about it.
That's where we were going to.
Okay. All right. With that, we lost our son in 2018. Okay.
Condolences.
I appreciate that. Long story short, we really don't know how it happened. Mm.
That's got to be even worse.
Yeah. We were on vacation celebrating. He was never able to go because he was always working all of the time. And so we were in Daytona Beach, Florida. My wife is light-skinned, so I take her to Florida every year to get her a suntan.
Get her a little tan.
So he was never able to go. It was always an adult trip. And so this time he had just got his new job. He had just got this job that he was always trying to get. Coaching job at Central Catholic. Mm-hmm. And with that, and then his girlfriend was there, and we were just having a great time. Excuse me. 5, maybe 10 minutes later, my son is dead. Gosh. Okay, we talking. His mom sent him upstairs to get some more food because we were getting ready to grill by the ocean. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they had been riding around on these scooters all day long, and he was with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend is white. And I bring that out because throughout the day when they was riding around, and this is like 2018, I said, come on now, you know. And it was Jeep Week in Florida also. And my point with that is that it was some people, because you have, with Jeep Week, you have people from Yahoos from all around the world, right?
Right.
And so they were saying stuff to him, and you know, he was a big guy, and he was getting ready to get into it, and they was like, no. And I'm only explaining that to you because we don't know. It was so many things that didn't make sense throughout that day after this situation. So with that, he went upstairs, and 5, maybe 10 minutes, and I'm saying maybe 10 minutes. I'm looking at it, because we were ready to grill. And so he didn't come back, so I sent his girlfriend and my son's girlfriend, because we were all there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he was like a big, huge, happy-go-lucky guy, great guy. I mean, they were busting in people to his funeral. I mean, it's people now that got tattoos all over their body of his face and his name and so forth. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was a great guy. You know, nobody's perfect, but he was a great guy, right? And so he goes up and never comes back. and I sent his girlfriend and my son's girlfriend, hey, go get him. So we got to put this stuff on the grill. Because what happened before that, they had called me. I didn't know I was going to be doing the cooking.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be doing the cooking,
That's
right?
my life right there.
Right. So with that, I was showing him how to do the shrimp on the grill. Then his mom came down and said, hey, why don't you run up and grab some more food? And he really didn't like heights, and that's the reason why he didn't get on the fire department, because he didn't like heights, right? Mm-hmm. So, like I brought out again, we are celebrating. And so he didn't come back, and they come screaming and howling like he did, The police there, he on the ground. I'm trying to get at him because that's just what I do.
Your instincts are kicking in at this point.
And they was like, nope, he's dead, that. And they got him taped off. And I just told you, 5-10 minutes ago, I was talking to my son. So now I'm asking, well, where did you guys come from? How did you get here? I mean, I'm just talking to him a few minutes ago, and you got him taped off. And they was like, well, he committed suicide. I said, okay. Now, if your kid is crazy or not, or if something is wrong with him, right or wrong. Mm-hmm. And let me back up real quick. I'm going to give you a quick little history. That was my how do I say it? I don't even want to use stepson.
Oh, no need to use that.
Well, I'm going to explain that portion to you. When him and his mom met, I had just got a divorce.
Okay.
And she had just had him.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I met her, he was only 8 months old. So the only thing I didn't do was put him in her.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So my point is that I know my son.
Yeah.
And I know, if something is bothering him or not. He lived in one of my houses. He had a brand new truck, pretty little girl.
Suicide just isn't making sense right
ain't nothing making sense. You know what I'm saying? Then so I said, well, because part of my job was an investigator, correct?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so they said, well, he jumped from the 5th floor. I said, well, for one thing, he was afraid of heights, okay? I said, did I tell you that? Did I tell you that he was, we were here celebrating? And I said, so if he jumped from there, where would his body land at? Mm. I said, shouldn't he be laying right here? I said, well, how in the hell his body get way down here? And I said, how did you guys get here? And I said, well, let's look at the tape. Well, there's no tape. There's no cameras on this side. And, so there are so many things that nothing made sense, okay? So we were getting ready to spend a lot of money on private investigators and so forth. And so when we finally came to grips that no matter what we do, no matter how this whole thing works out, he's not coming back. Mm-hmm. So what we wind up deciding to do is focus on how he lived his life and not how he passed away, because that's going to come out sooner or later. That portion is going to come out sooner or later. So with that, we wind up starting the Delroy Chance Angel Wings Foundation. And if you guys out there, if you want to take a look at at our nonprofit and at our website, is Delroy, DelroyChance.org. And you can see the amazing things, the impact that we are making in the community. Yeah,
I've seen you on the news multiple times. Yeah. And, oh man, it's just so much that you're doing for the community. It's really great.
Thank you. And what happens is that the more you do, the more you see that needs to be done. Yeah. And you just get stretched and stretched and stretched. And so with that, he didn't like flowers, right? Mm-hmm. And so his mom asked everybody if they can make a donation in his name. And so what happens is we wind up getting all of this money. It's like, well, okay, what we doing? Mm-hmm. And so what we were going to do is give a scholarship to Central or scholarship to Fourth and Goal, which was the part that he was a part of also, a football camp. And so with that, his girlfriend, because she was always with him. She was like a football mom. They didn't have any kids or anything, but she was like the person that taped and got food, and they were picking up, dropping off these kids and so forth. And so she said, these kids don't have the proper footwear. It's like, well, we thinking that the school does this, or we just thought that it happened because we never had to worry about it with our kids. We just bought the cleats and we kept it moving.
Yeah, right.
So what we wind up doing, that's what we made a decision that we're going to buy football cleats and give them away. Nothing pre-owned, everything brand new.
Nice.
And so my wife and a nephew, they made a little bet to see who could get the most cleats. Cause we had, they started off, they said 150. And we got over 250, maybe more than that the first time out. And man, guys, these people was really, the kids that showed up, yeah, sorry about that. These kids showed up there and they was crying and everything else. It was like, I don't have to pay for this. It was like, no, take it. You know, cause we gave away cleats, we gave away sports physicals, shirts, backpack, mouthpieces, socks.
The whole
we
shebang.
didn't. The first time we didn't give away socks because we had to get. When my wife was measuring their feet, the feet was stinking so bad that the next time through, right, that we had to get socks. So we wind up partner with Hannah Socks.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay, we didn't partner with Hannah Socks. Care Source, Taylor Kia is a huge backer of us.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, I apologize. I can't even think of everybody else that's backing the because what happens is that once you start helping these kids out and people see the impact that is being made, this year we were able to start approaching Nike, Under Armour, Adidas. Dick's is a supporter of ours now also. They just gave us a grant. And because we weren't able to do that, well, I didn't want it. The organization didn't want to do that until it showed that we have a legacy, that we are for real, that we're going to be around for a while. And so with that, now we approach. But now through COVID, right, we didn't know that it affected the manufacturing of cleats. We couldn't even hardly get no dang on cleats.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's back up just a little bit. With the COVID, last year we weren't able to give away the cleats. So what we did, we wind up giving away coats.
Yeah, I was
we
gonna
gave
say,
away coats.
they
to
had
the
some
home.
nice
to-
coats,
Yeah,
too.
it was some nice coats.
I saw fur and all kinds
Yeah,
of stuff.
there
I'm
was
like,
some
okay.
really nice coats, right? And a lot of these things that have been happening have been God sent, and the people that we meet, what is it, D&M or M&D, screen printing. They're the one that do our shirts, and the people that just come out of nowhere at the right time,
Right.
And it's like, this can't be like, I ain't no dang gonna preach or nothing, but this can't be nothing but divine intervention. And because he was a good guy, he was really a good guy, and let's back up to him. So they was like, well, he was probably on drugs, you know, this and that, and it's like, well, he ain't doing no drugs, you know, and he barely even had a beer or whatever.
Well, it's sad on how people will discredit your name when you're no longer around.
Absolutely.
And it hurts.
Well, this was the cops that was saying that.
Yeah. Again, because it wasn't anyone near to say, no, I don't do drugs. Like,
And let me clear something up. I am not pointing the finger at anybody, but I am saying that things don't look right. And I am saying that why is it always in Florida that a black man is committing suicide?
Yeah.
And it's like,
there's a lot of questions.
yeah, and it's and things that don't make no. This is a happy guy. Like I told him, he living in one of my houses. He had a brand new truck, little pretty little girl, great job that he just got. All the family is together on a trip that he had never been on, and then he had like a bunch of guns in his house, right? So why would you come on vacation to kill yourself? I mean,
on something that you're scared of,
right?
Like,
yeah, on something that you're scared of, because he didn't even want to go up there to get the meat, right? And the thing about it is that he stayed in the room. Him and his girlfriend stayed in the room with my wife and myself because he didn't want to go up to the room up there.
Wow.
And so, just none of the things have made sense, and they still don't. But as we know, and as everybody out there knows, when somebody significant passes away in your family, a lot of times the family goes in their own separate ways because nobody knows how to deal with the grief.
Yeah.
Right. And so with this nonprofit, it has pulled our whole family together. I mean, everybody, the grandkids, our friends, our family, and I mean, it's almost like a family reunion because it is. And so with that, we just, when the tears come, the smile comes with it. you know, and he was always a part of our running joke in our family, right? It's like, man, you ain't gonna never have no money. You ain't gonna never be rich. Why? I said, because you always helping these kids out.
Yeah.
You know, but he would always come to his mom and myself to give money, right, for the kids. But, you know, like I brought out, when you a coach and things like that, you a parent, you an uncle, you give money, I mean, just out of the kindness of your heart. And then a lot of times it was always the kids that really, really, really needed help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, you know, we carried on his legacy, and we didn't know the impact that he was making as a young man to younger kids and older adults. Because what happens is that at his funeral, I mean, people wasn't just crying, man. They was look lost.
Yeah.
You know, and you never know the impact that you're making on your kids. I would always tell him things, and I would always, you know, go through things. And then when people at his funeral was coming back saying the same thing that I was telling him that he was telling them, right? But they looked lost, and I promised everybody at that point in time when I got up and spoke that I don't know what he was doing, but we gonna pick up the baton and we gonna run.
Man, amen.
So,
Well, you know what they say, man. Good attracts good. That's just how it works. Like, you know, you do good and it reciprocates. Like when you're saying all these people coming out of nowhere to help you, and you never, you know, that's just what happens when you do a good thing. That's so what you're doing is amazing, and
Thank you.
You know, we really applaud that because, you know, our podcast focuses a lot on disabilities, but I mean, people everywhere need help with just little, like a lot of people take for granted simple things like having cleats.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up having to worry about not having cleats. I didn't have to worry, you know, and like it's something I take for granted, or clothes to play sports. I'm not a sports guy, so that's not I've ever had to deal like, but you know, there are so many people that can't afford and can't help.
Special Olympics, they come get cleats. We got girls, right? They got girls out there that's some beasts. In these little leagues just playing, I'm telling you that they be slamming them boys.
Yeah.
So that's the other part that we're moving off into, is to get the safety equipment, like different types of shoulder pads and safety equipment for females. Okay, and so that's what we kind of working on now. Matter of fact, we going to the Valentine Theater tomorrow. I think it's 7:00, and they're going to be talking about. They're going to show something about the Toledo Troopers, which is a.
Is that the little dance group?
No. That was a football team. It was a female football team in Toledo back in the 70s.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and it was like 60-4, 60-5. Their record was. Yeah.
Get it?
I want to say that they're recognized in the Pro Football Hall of Fame also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah,
So what
neither
we're going to
did
do,
I.
we're going to hopefully make contact with somebody there and that can point us in the right direction. And because, like I brought out, Dix is partnering with us now, and they're really happy because they are really into the girl thing, or I apologize, female thing. And so with that, it's taking a whole life of its own. I mean, people will say, well, how's retirement? And I'll be like, well, I'll let you know when I get there. I mean, the best part of retirement is like, hey, today I'm not doing nothing. And I can do that right now. But with the organization that we have, the nonprofit foundation, it's huge. I mean, we putting on concerts and fundraiser.
Yeah, you just had a concert a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah. We had Johnny Brett, which is huge. He was he's a jazz artist, and it was. You never know your talents.
Yeah.
The fire department has taught me gave me a whole lot of talents, and I used every last one of them, putting that whole thing, my wife and myself, and along with with our board members, put that thing together. And it was huge, man. It worked out really well.
Man, awesome.
Especially for a first time.
Heck yeah. I can't wait till the next one. Man, Paul does heavy metal if you want to.
Yeah, I'll come and play.
I don't know how well it's going to fit in the culture.
Lead guitar.
Yeah, you might have less people coming, but
No.
not sure that's the avenue you want to go down for your benefit. I'll leave that there.
I like it. You know.
So with your organization, you're doing all this awesome stuff and teaching CPR and all this stuff. If you could give maybe like a quick, the basics, like what's the important part of all this? Because you said you kind of cut out the fat. What's the important part? Like if you had to give like a 5-minute crash course in CPR or the basic thing you can do to help someone in a situation, what would that be? Like, what would you say to someone? You got like 5 minutes, like.
I can give it to you in 2 seconds.
2 seconds, go.
Whatever's happened already. Mm-hmm. Whatever's happened already. I have to explain that to my class, meaning that if somebody had a heart attack, it happened already. If somebody got shot, it happened already. If somebody have a baby, it happened already. It's all about what you do next, because your emotions are going to try to take you over, okay? Yeah. And to go along with that, anytime you approach a scene, you always approach wide open. Meaning looking both sides. Why? Because if you look tunnel vision, you can trip over a gun, you can fall, you can get hit, and so forth. So with that, those are the most important parts of the class, of learning how to approach that situation, okay? Because at the end of the day, you got to learn, like I brought out earlier, you got to learn how to talk to yourself, because your emotions is going to try to take you over. And I tell them, too, that you don't have to put your mouth on nobody. All right, unless that's what you decided to do, or unless you have a barrier. All right, and I teach them 2 types of CPR, meaning hands only and mouth to mouth. And again, like I bring out, I need them to be thinking about their family as you're going through that.
Yeah.
And so that's the basics, because at the end of the day, they talk about push hard and fast and so forth. I mean, that's a good thought. But in the end of the day, it's always great to come and take a class. I usually give classes 4 times a month, usually on a Wednesday or a Saturday, one Wednesday night. It's at 1822 North Reynolds between Door and Bancroft.
Okay.
Also, I do travel too, but in order for me to travel, it usually has to be at least 10 people. You can reach me at 419-215-5239. Again, 419-215-5239. The name of my business is Emergency Heartbeat CPR LLC.
And if you call him and he comes up, he has this huge red truck that is not forgettable.
Yeah.
You're going to see him coming.
That's the firefighter in you, right?
There you go. There you go. There you go. That'll never go away, and I never want it to go away.
Yeah. No, that's an awesome career. I mean, that's like every kid's dream is to be a fireman when they grow up, and it's actually pretty hard to get into. I know people that have been trying for years, and it's a hard thing to get into. So
well, I'm on council in my respected town, and I talk to the chief of police quite often and the chief of fire quite often,
right.
And I also have went through their respected areas, and I learned so much from them, and I just think that, of course, no healthcare worker truly gets paid what they're worth. Because again, you can't put $1 on a person's life.
No.
And to have that range of being able to care for somebody and still live almost at bare bones. Depending on the size of the city that you're in, and of course, but again, healthcare, if we come together, we can get wages raised, but I think it's more morale that we need to always stick with, keeping people knowing that everyone cannot do what you do. Everyone doesn't have the skill set. Everyone doesn't even have the ambition to do what you do. So realize that you are a major part of society.
No, everybody can't do that job.
Yeah.
Everybody think they can, but at the end of the day, all they see is a day off. Couple of days off, and you guys
week on, week off. Oh, I can do that.
And they think, well, you guys sleep at work. Well, that's not really what you call sleep. You sleeping with one eye open and one eye closed, because you have to. You need me to be ready at 9 o'clock in the morning, and same at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
When you call 911, you expect me to show up and be ready. And so with that, it's just a rest.
Yeah.
It's just a rest, because everybody gets tired and everybody has to eat, okay? And because they say, well, you guys are at the store. Well, we got to eat. And people are under the misconception that they pay for the firefighters' food. Well, you don't pay for the food. We put in money every day. And we go out and buy it, and
you got to cook it and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it gets done, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it burn up, and sometimes you might get to eat, and sometimes you might not get to eat later on. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when you know you made an impact, when you know that you helped somebody, you know it. I mean, and when you know whether it's doing CPR or pulling a dog or a cat or whatever it might be.
Giving someone some Narcan,
because we have to understand something, that everybody's thought process of an emergency is different. And so with that, there's an education process too. Just because you stubbed your toe is not an emergency, but we're going to take care of that, and we're going to show you how to handle that situation later on.
That's right.
In case it happens again. And that's what happens, even with the overload of the calls that they're having now. The calls just go up so much, but at the end of the day, that's what they're there for.
Urgency versus importance. And right now, we actually have something that is urgent and important, and it's called Rapid Fire. Now,
okay,
he didn't tell you, nor did I. Rapid Fire is a list of questions that we give to you that you're going to have to choose one. You're going to have to do it quick, so it's going to be the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
It's set up as a would you rather. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Very first one. Would you rather perform CPR on a waterbed or a bed of nails?
Waterbed. I'll take the waterbed.
The waterbed.
But as you know, though, you can't do it. You got to get it on a hard surface.
Yep, on a hard surface.
Okay.
So the bed of nails, they will have to be close together, or it's just bad.
There you go. That would hurt.
All right.
Everybody involved.
Yeah. Knees and all.
Yeah.
Would you rather have put out a fire in your birthday suit, or wear your fire suit at your birthday party?
I'll wear it at the birthday party. But I put out a fire with my wife at least every other night in my birthday suit. So I'll put that fire out.
I love it.
I was waiting for that one.
Hey.
Beautiful. Hey,
I didn't put him up to this one.
Yeah, right?
We'll send her a link. Don't worry.
Don't ever get mad at me.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Would you rather play football with no cleats or basketball in cleats?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you screwed up either
way. I'm screwed. Wow, I'll take the basketball.
Yeah, you'll be slipping all around, but
Ooh, that sounds bad.
Dude. That sounds really bad. Maybe I'll switch that. I'll do the football with no cleats.
Just stub the toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids, man, through soccer. Oh man, my toes have gotten it, my shins have gotten it. I don't even know how I can still walk without a limp.
But that was a very rapid fire. Your decision-making skills under pressure, fantastic. But this is usually the point of the show where we ask you to give out all your contact info, but you already did that. So I guess that's just the end.
Well, let me repeat that though.
Yeah, repeat it.
For emergency heartbeat, for any type of CPR class, because I do CPR classes and CPR and first aid along with Narcan training. You can reach me at 419-215-5239, and the name of the business is Emergency Heartbeat CPR LLC. And with the nonprofit, the name of it is the Delroy Chance, DELROY Chance, CHANCE.org. And with the cleat giveaway, we do that once a year, and along with a fundraiser that we'll have coming up next year. So I'm not sure what this year is going to bring, because like I said, we are delving into a lot of things right now, sports related to help these kids out. And a lot of times people say, well, is there a financial thing that they have to show you? Nope. I don't even care if you're rich and you show up. Because if I can help you take care of one of your kids, maybe you can do something else to help them out.
Right.
And we are here to help families out, whether you're rich, poor, young, whatever it might be. We are trying to do our part. Now, what our part is, I don't know. And what we're looking at is that hopefully we make an impact on these kids, because when they show up, they have to be there either with a parent or a coach. And with that, we're hoping that one day when they wind up being successful in life, whether it be whatever it is, whether it be sports related or whatever, that they can look back and see that somebody gave them a hand up. And then hopefully that they'll reach back and try to help somebody out. Because we always try to explain to the parents and to the coaches, because they'll show up. It's like, oh, they couldn't come, they got up late. Well, you got to go get them.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't mean anything. If you take those cleats home and drop them on the table and they pop them on and it don't mean nothing to them. Mm-hmm. But if they show up and they see that somebody put in work to make this happen. I mean, 'cause like I brought up, we give away food, we give away everything. We even have Santa Claus here. We have some other people there that are involved, like showing some football drills and certain things like that. And we have other guys there to talk to the kids as they're there. That's good. Because we want them to see, because when they show up, they even have to write down their own information. Because a lot of times the parent, they want to get in there. I'll do it. No, let them do it. This is for them.
Yes.
All right, this is for them. And when they leave, like I brought out, man, it's just like, it's so hard touching. You be so freaking tired, but it's so heartfelt. I mean, even like Nettie's hot dogs is the back of ours now.
Nice.
And it's just, I mean, all the people that have jumped on board to make this thing work. I mean, and the thing about it is that I think that what makes it so much of an impact is that nobody is looking for, look at me. No, wait, that ain't what we're here for. Mm-hmm. We trying to make an impact on these kids, and these kids need help now. I mean, more than ever. I mean, and a lot right now, we might not know what to do, but if we don't do nothing, what's going to happen?
Nothing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So everyone, please go online, look for this information, give what you can, give what your hearts can, because it is the next generation that's going to make sure this world either survives or crashes. And we just need to do our part. So I want to give you your roses, sir. Thank you so much, not only for coming on to the podcast, but, man, just throughout my career, you have been a wonderful mentor, and I want to hopefully continue to be making you proud as well.
Yes, and you have.
Thank you, my
I mean, and that's I think that's our purpose, not just to hold it to ourselves, hey, you lift one, and sometimes you might have a little more strength to push somebody, and then sometimes it might just be a thumbs up, or to tell somebody you're doing a good job. Because we always good to tell somebody when they doing a bad job. Right. Like, you stink, you don't do it, or you ugly, whatever it might be.
I get that one all the time.
Right, get out of here.
All three of them. and just ugly, doing a bad job.
And that's the thing, that we never tell people that, hey, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work. You are making a difference. And just like I talk about in our class, is that, yes, we are talking about developmentally disabled people, right? But they have personalities too.
Yeah, exactly.
And matter of fact, when you look at all of us, we all developmentally disabled in some kind of way.
Yeah.
I got glasses on. When I stand up, my knee gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? Till I get it loosened up. It might be, it might take some blood pressure pills or whatever, But the thing about it is that, like I bring out, treat them like they're your family.
Yeah.
What if it's you? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say one last thing, right? 33 years, right? I have been taking care of people. My wife has taken my class a number of times, billion times, right? And so we try to work out. We ride our bikes all the time. I grew up riding motorcycles, right? So what the heck I need a helmet for riding a bike? Mm-hmm. So one day I tell her out of nowhere, I said, hey, baby, let me show you how to get in my phone just in case something happened to me. I don't know where that came from, right? So about a month later, we riding our bikes, and we were over at Ottawa Park. And it's a big hill over at Ottawa Park, right? And we didn't roll up and down this hill 1,000,001 times. And just before we get ready to go down this time, I turn around and look at her. I said, babe, we need to get us some helmets. And we laughed about it. And a few minutes later, I'm in intensive care for about 5-6 days because I done fell on my dang on bike. Okay, and what happened was is that she said I was coming down the hill and said there was a big branch sticking out. She said when you try to go around the branch, you went off the pavement. And when you were coming back on, because you're on the hill, when you came back on, the pavement hit my tire and threw me head first into the concrete. And I'm out. I mean, she knew what to do. But at the end of the day, I could have been dead.
Yeah.
You know, and not even freaking known it. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I bring out, even in my class, is that you never expect anything to happen. But at the end of the day, it could be you.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at things, and that's the way I try to treat people. Sometimes it works, and sometimes some people make that difficult to happen. You know, some people make that difficult to happen, but at the end of the day, that's all we trying to do is do our best. I appreciate the opportunity coming.
Oh man, anytime.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in, and everyone, thank you for watching and listening.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of the Friends for Life podcast. If you can help us out, go down below, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you can, head over and check out the websites that Steven had talked about earlier. I'll put links down below in the subscription so you can get to those easily. And we want to thank Steven for coming on and sharing all of his awesome stories with us. It was a great episode, and the work he's doing is just monumental. So go check that out. And as always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.